everybody and welcome to another episode of Peteman Reviews. Today we have the Universe release of Galvatron. Obviously this is Galvatron remodeled as a tank, very similar to how Megatron Generation 2 was. It even has on the side Galv 25 to show it was released for the 25th anniversary, and obviously it's Galvatron, so it's not subtle. Tank wise, it's not a bad version of a tank. You've got obviously the missile here as the cannon, you've got a rocket launcher at the side here. It does have rockets on the side, but unfortunately they're painted the same colour as the rest of it. They don't do anything, it's just moulded, but because they're the same colour as the rest of the thing, it's quite easy to lose them. Otherwise it's not too bad at all. It kind of sticks out a bit at the side here, which is a bit odd to have a tank which starts narrow and gets wider and wider. But it's not bad, it's a reasonably aggressive stance, works quite well. The missile, safety orange, but it does fire. It's quite a powerful missile. So if I just put my hand one side, see, quite decent propellant on that. I'll just take the missile out so I don't accidentally shoot myself while filming the rest of it. Now the problems with this toy come because of the fact it's a redesign. It was originally meant to be a much bigger toy and designed for that level of complexity. Unfortunately, that big toy never was released, and so we ended up with a smaller version, so it's incredibly complicated for such a small toy. It also has a number of features which don't exist anymore. So the tank can actually walk, and I'll try and show you those modes as we transform it. It's not the easiest to show because you have to partially transform it and then take the feet out and then retransform it, but we'll show as we come along. It doesn't do anything at all. You can have it in that mode if you want, but then you've got a tank on feet, which isn't a good look. The other thing I noticed with this one as well is this arm here pops off like anything. In fact, I find it impossible to transform it and keep the arm on because, okay, even if you transform like that, when you tighten everything up, so you've got no cracks between the seams, the arm pops off anyway. I don't know if I haven't folded it upright or not, because unfortunately when I got this it didn't come with instructions, but this arm is too big to fit in the gap here. Not much, but just enough that it will not fit. It's actually a darn sight easier to have the arm pop off, to be honest, to transform it, so we'll just take that off now. While we're here, I'll show you some of the feet. So the other thing is these are really difficult to get out. As you can see, they pop in there, but they're really tough to get out. So this is one of the feet here. So we pop it out like so. So you've got all the orange part there, and then you have a foot. And then obviously the idea is that would then transform back up like that. And you have a foot. It does seem to me to be back to front. There is no way of turning it around. Maybe there would have been in the other mode, I don't know. You can see the other feet here. So do exactly the same sort of thing. You'd have to somehow, well, not somehow, you just do that and turn it around. Might as well do the other ones as we're here. And then same on this side, so we need to pop this out. Again, the whole lot pops out sometimes because they're really, really tight. Some of the ways it joins in, say this part here going onto here is a really solid link, which is great when you want it in tank mode, but it's a pain when you're trying to transform it either into or out of tank mode, because it does not want to come. So there we are, you end up with a tank with feet. It's bizarre. It is actually very stable with the way the feet are displayed, but so the idea is it walks. What were they thinking? That's just bizarre. I know it would have been really difficult to make the treads move, possibly impossible, but wouldn't that have been cool? But I don't know, would it have worked or not? It seems like a bit of a pointless gimmick to make a tank that walks, but anyway, the remnants are still there. I guess that's why they didn't make it ultimately. That one's popped off now. Yeah, the toy, I don't know if it's just my version of the toy or if it's because of its overly complicated nature, but it pops off all the time. You have a lot of kibble. I think this more than anything is what's disappointing about it, is the fact that it is a very complicated toy for what it is. Right, just move these feet back in. Okay, so now this one's popped off again. Yeah, it's just a complicated toy. Okay, so now we'll transform it. Start off with the turret. So what we need to do is get this bit out of here. Just going to pry these apart a bit, so this will eventually slide out of here. There we are. They then stick together underneath it, like so. So this is now free. This is effectively becomes his arm. So you need to straighten the missile out. It rotates that way to produce a hand. And the idea is this is now his arm. So you've got obviously the classic Galvatron cannon. Okay, so we can see from the way the treads works, you've got the head there and you've got the legs all underneath here. So just take these apart here, swing this up out the way at the moment, get the legs down. These pop off all the time as well. I suspect this is a version that I have, which is a bit, I won't say ropey, but it's a bit sensitive. Okay, that's don't pop down fully yet because we need to do some rotational bits first of all. We'll just get them out of the way. So what you now need to do, rotate the legs round, so it's like that. This knee is obviously a knee, so it needs to be pointing knee ways. Now we need to rotate these around here because this will become his feet. So, like that, that's popped off again, never mind, and that becomes Galvatron's feet. So, once again on this side, rotate it around, that goes down, that becomes the feet. These will now not fold back. Why will they not fold down? Yes, they will fold down. This actually comes forward, like that. Now these fold down, because these form the rear stability part, so he doesn't fall over, so he has the stable feet. Okay, so now on to the front. You now need to get rid of all of this stuff. None of this does anything in robot mode at all. You just need to get it out of the way. Leaves you with an awful lot of kibble at the rear of the toy. In some ways there's not really anywhere to put it all. We will now reattach the arm, take the toy and reattach the arm. Now that flips like that, down like so, to produce an elbow, and you can see the hand just rotates out. Very simple, and then this will slot onto the safety orange part there, and rotate down. In order to make the head rise, you need to push that up. And you've just got all this kibble at the back here. There's no real place to put it, because if you have this up, you've then got that up. It's a mess, to be honest. At the back, let's ignore the back, let's look at the front. There we are, that is Galvatron. So, just have a quick zoom in there. As you can see, the face, whoops, there we go, is really disappointing. It kind of doesn't quite look like it's the right mould. It looks almost deformed, doesn't it? Otherwise, pleasing parts of it, they've got the right chest on here. That's good to see. They've got colour schemes are quite good. It's got the cannon on the side there. It's got the kind of crown element of it. It's just that the face is so deformed, which is odd. And there's so much kibble on the back. You just look at all of this gubbin going on here. There is just nowhere to put it. And this one, the legs keep popping off. I really don't know if this is a problem with this version of the toy, this toy, or if it's a problem with the model as well. If any of you have got the Universe Galvatron, let me know. Okay, so we stand him up there. He's now there. So what do we compare him with? Because bear in mind, the original release of Galvatron is in my view pretty rubbish anyway. So it's always been difficult to even find a version of Galvatron that one wants to have, let alone it being good. The original release, I just do not like it. I think it just looks awful. Well, you can go and get the Legends Titans Return version. So obviously this is, it's a very pale lilac or purple, which is more true to life from the Japanese Galvatron than it is the actual one that we know, where the purple is a bit more darker. That said, it looks far more like Galvatron. Knees, for example, he actually has the plates going up there. The whole thing just looks so much better. Yes, it's bigger, which perhaps in this case does help with it, but it looks a lot better. issues with the head notwithstanding. However, I think the version of Galvatron you really want to try to get, that I've seen, is Unique Toys, mainly a King, the third party one. It looks so much better. It's got the right proportions, it's actually got a proper face, a proper head, so that eliminates the problems both other ones have. Colour scheme's good, and it is for me the definitive version. Tyrant looks quite good as well. Oh, I think that's a Toy World release, but don't quote me on that. But I haven't got that one, so I can only go on the ones we've got. And they go in order of goodness. I'm mainly a King, Legends Galvatron, and Universe Galvatron, which is a distant third, to be honest. It's better than no Galvatron. Is it better than the original one? I think so, because it's so much more posable. The head is very, very disappointing. Transformation is way too complex. Bits fall off it all the time. There's so much kibble to deal with. That's what really lets this one down. That said, if you keep him in robot mode or in tank mode, you don't have the transformation problems, although one can argue is it a transformer then, but that's not too bad to say. Robot mode is recognisable as Galvatron. It really is. It's just not in the same league as the other two. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave any comments below, and I will see you on the next review. Thank you. Goodbye.